Your new show debuts on Monday.
Yep.
Are you excited?
Very. It's like, look at this place, right? It's like in just a few short hours, basically, this thing is going to be filled with people. And what's really fun is, in addition to the amazing guests I have, my family's going to be here,
Right.
my husband will be here. So it'll be sort of a nice, supportive environment, too.
Sure. Certainly. Anything that you're scared or nervous about?
Yes. Yes. In general, I don't really love public speaking. And I'm one of those people who gets nervous at the beginning and my heart is like that. And then, you know, you're a couple minutes into it and you calm down and you're fine. But people think just because you can look into the camera and broadcast to millions of people, you can do public speaking very easily.
Not the same.
It is not the same. So I'm slightly worried I might have a heart attack and keel over. So please watch. And if I make it through the first couple of minutes, you'll know she's good. She's good.
That's great.
Because they're going to be here. I can see the people.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. So, what can our viewers expect to see on Monday?
Monday's going to be fun. You know, Monday's going to be a great show. Wouldn't say it's representative of what you're going to see on Megyn Kelly Today going forward, because it's our first day, so there's a bunch of special stuff we're doing. And the way, for example, we're normally going to open up the show, we're not going to open it up that way on Monday. But anyway, we do have the cast of Will and Grace live here, along with the show creators. And, you know, that show is really groundbreaking in so many ways.
Yeah.
And is huge and is coming back after this long hiatus. So this is the first time we'll have all of them together with the show creators talking about their cultural impact and what they think they can do second time around, you know? Anyway, and a bunch of other stuff. The first week is Gangbusters.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really different than what you did over at Fox News. How are you feeling about the transition to doing lighter?
I feel great about it. I feel great about it.
Do you really?
I feel happy, and I feel I'm about to spread joy for a living, you know, instead of outrage, which is what you do on cable news.
Right.
You know, and not just, I mean, I really tried not to do that on the Kelly File. In fact, we used to make a point of, if you had two guests who you knew were going to go at it, putting them on sequentially instead of at the same time, so that we didn't gin up that anger.
Yeah.
But part of it is just the nature of what you discuss on cable news, which is politics and nothing but politics.
Right. Speaking of which, will you be talking about some politics? Because you're going to be talking a little bit of news on the show, too, in addition to fun stuff. Do you think you'll bring in politics?
There'll be some, but it's not going to be presented in the way that you would get on cable news. You know, we're not going to get, I don't think I'm ever going to mention the name Mitch McConnell on my show. Never, ever. No offense, but no. And the bar for, you know, even Trump coverage, I think, will be rather high. I just think at 9 in the morning, it's not what people want.
Yeah.
It's not what I want.
Yeah.
You know, I think by the time they'll come to me, they'll know the news.
Right.
And they're going to want to talk about what else is in the news. What else can we talk about? What am I going to be discussing with my girlfriends tonight when I see them after dinner? Or what are my husband and I going to discuss over dinner? And so, yes, if politics are topical and there's something big going on, we'll discuss it on the show.
Right.
But ideally, we're going to be getting to other more interesting stuff, like what's happening in our lives. I'll give you an example. Just last week, I was at this birthday party for my daughter's friend. They're all 6. All the moms wound up in this other room. One mom started to talk about her anxiety. She said, you know, like we all have. I said, you know, I actually don't have a lot of anxiety. And the other mom said, neither do I. And the other mom said, I have it all the time. And then this discussion unfolded about anxiety and depression and fear. And on we went for 2 hours. A microcosm of that would absolutely be on this show.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. So what do you say to the people who might question your authenticity after, you know, seeing you on Fox News? You're this aggressive, great cross-examinator kind of interviewer, and then you come here and you're completely different. It seems in your promos that you're doing, you're very soft and you're hugging people, which was the opposite of Fox News. Do you worry about that?
I think assumes facts, not in evidence. I think that criticism you're raising in your question is based on a caricature of what I actually did on Fox News. If you actually watched me for 13 years there, you would see my show was full of personality and full of humor and full of warm moments. But if you didn't watch, then you only saw snippets. And those snippets would generally be of someone like Newt Gingrich attacking me. And the fact that I was able to stand my ground when under attack does not mean that I am not a warm, soft person. It means I'm a strong woman who doesn't wither when someone comes at me. And I think most of the people who ask me that question are men, but what I have to say to people who question that is, I don't know a woman who isn't both strong and warm, who doesn't have moments of tears and ferocity in the appropriate moment. And I think to assume that one comes at the expense of the other is to misunderstand any woman I know. I don't know a woman who is all one and none the other. So my authentic self is able to cross-examine a politician who is lying to me with the best in the business. And my authentic self is also able to empower and uplift my viewers on matters that affect us all in a way that can be warm, can be funny, can be inspiring, can be bawdy, and can be fun.
That's fantastic. You were in Detroit in March, I believe, for one of the debates. Were you able to see the city?
No. I mean, you get in,
do you know, yeah,
do
that's
the
what
debate.
I figured.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Detroit, though, or any?
Well, I have a
work
good friend who
stories?
lives I have a good friend who lives right outside of Detroit in Birmingham, so I go and visit her sometimes. And you know, my buddy Kid Rock is from there, and he's the best ambassador you could ask for from Detroit. So you know, just from him, I've grown to love it.
Yeah, Detroit's a heavily African-American city. Have you thought about how you will connect with African-American viewers?
I don't think it's helpful to slice and dice your audience like that. I think if you put great product on the air, they will come. And I'll be judged on what I do on this program from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And if people enjoy that product and feel connected to me, they'll watch. And if they don't, they won't. So, and that's as it should be. You know, it's on me to do something that reaches out to everybody. And that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to offer something that is unifying for everyone. Not just women, by the way, women and men. And certainly not any particular race or, you know, ethnic group, for everyone.
It seems as if everything that you touch turns to gold. You've been so successful. Loved reading your book, hearing about how you worked through law school and at Jones Day and just everything. Does that put more pressure on you, you think, when you are so successful to knock it out of the park with this next project?
Maybe for people outside of my world, it does. You know, I mean, I know generally what people are writing about the show, like it's going to be the second coming, and it's not. I never promised that. But I don't think about my own life like that. What makes me me is my history, my family, my husband, my children, and I'm going to have that no matter what, God willing, right? So that is not at stake here. So I'm good. You know, I just don't think about my professional future in terms of will it succeed or will it fail and what will that do to me? You know, is there pressure on me? I feel like there's no pressure on me because the things that deeply matter to me, I'm good. This is a TV show that I hope can help people, and I think will resonate. But as soon as you start to obsess over things like ratings or competition, you start failing, I think. And so my mission is to be true to myself and try to bring people along on this journey with me, which I think they want to be on. And I feel like that's the route to success. And if you spend too much time mired in what others will say or what bad things could happen, you start to chip away at your own odds of doing well.
Right. What's your biggest success, would you say?
I don't know. I don't think about my life in those terms. You know, like somebody recently asked me, "What are you most proud of?" And I was like, "I don't know." I don't know.
I mean, certainly your kids.
No, I don't think of it like that. Like my kids, they're awesome, but I don't take the credit for it. You know what I mean? I don't.
Half the credit, at least?
Well, genetically, I created them, and Doug and I are shaping them. But I do feel like they come into this world with a nature. And then we as parents have the privilege of shaping it. But to take credit for their beauty, you know, their spirit, I feel like I'm out of bounds doing that. I feel like that's them and that's theirs. I don't know if that sounds weird. It's not like they're little, you know, so they haven't cured cancer or anything. I'm like, maybe but I just feel like I am in this fortunate position of being their mother and being a witness to their growth and their upbringing. And it's a privilege that I hope not to screw up too badly. But I don't look back on my own life and say, I am really proud of this or really ashamed of that.
Right.
I just feel like the whole thing is growth. And some things I've handled well and some things I haven't handled well. And hopefully tomorrow I'll do better than I did yesterday. And
what are those things that you think you haven't handled well? And I only ask because you are just so successful that it's hard to pick out anything. So do you think of what your biggest failure is?
Well, again, I don't think of it exactly that way, but there's a lot of moments that I wish I had been kinder. I wish I had been more open-minded. I wish I hadn't said such stupid shit. You can just bleep that. But you can't live a perfect life. You know, all you can hope is that over time, people get to know the real you and accept that person.
And the real you is a mother who loves her 3 kids, a wife who loves her husband. Elaborate on that.
I mean, first and foremost, I am a person, right? I'm a person just like any other person with hopes and dreams and aspirations and sadnesses and, you know, things that I try to work through in this sort of quest for connection that I think is our experience here. You know, that's our experience here on this earth. I think we're here to connect with other people. And then after that, I'm a woman, and I think about all the things that it means to be a woman, especially in 2017 America, and a wife, and a mother. And being a mother has changed my entire outlook on the world, and certainly on my purpose here, my purpose. You know, the stories I choose to highlight and the way I want to spend my time, not just in terms of making time to be home with them, but the messaging I want to deliver in this world. I mean, I'll give you one example of that. It was after the birth of my daughter Yardley in 2011. I have 3 kids. She was
Yates, Yardley, and
Thatcher.
Thatcher.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I read the book twice.
So it was after the birth of my daughter Yardley that I had just turned 40, that I really started to think hard about my professional future. I was at Fox. I was doing an afternoon show that wasn't that political, but I was in cable, which is harder edged. And I had a long conversation with my sister-in-law, Diane, my spiritual guru. And I said, I would love to do something more uplifting. I would love to be more of a positive force in this world, a force for good. And she said, I can see it. You know, you're going to do it. And she believes in manifesting, and I believe in it too. But at the time, it was unclear to me how it would go. Like, how will I get from here to there? And lo and behold, I've done it. You know, I've gotten myself out of what for me was a negative environment. You know, not Fox News, but cable news and political news. And now I have this great opportunity to let my professional life align with my spirit, my own joy. It can help foster my joy while it helps foster other people's joy. And I feel like that is more true to the mother I want to be, the example I want to set, the energy I want to bring home to them at the end of the day, right? So in a way, this will be, I think, a rebirth for me personally, not just professionally, but personally.
It's fantastic. Just in closing, we have less than 2 minutes. Is there anything that you want to say to the viewers of Detroit? Why should they watch you?
I want them to know that if they're feeling disconnected, if they're feeling a sense of malaise about their life choices or something going on in their lives right now or in the country, for them to give me a shot, because I know what that feels like. And I think we're going to be able to offer and explore some ways forward, you know, in a manner that's not judgmental, but hopefully helpful. And I want them to know they're not alone. You know, I've been through that. I've had hard times in my life. I had a divorce. I was badly bullied. I lost my father at a young age. I've been stalked. I've been harassed. I've had a lot of stuff happen. It hasn't been all rainbows and unicorns. But I've found ways to cope. Hard work has been one way I've found to get me through. And I think this show can hopefully be a vehicle for people who might be suffering or might be a little lost toward feeling connected and feeling better, feeling more wellness in their lives. So I hope they'll give us a shot. Give me a try. Give me a chance. And then if I blow it, leave me forever. But hopefully I won't. And a beautiful new relationship will be formed.
That's fantastic.